Hi there! I was just reading this interesting book. It's called The Littlematchgirl, and it's about a little girl who sells match. You want to know the story? Well, let me tell you. It was terribly cold and nearly dark on the last evening of the old year, and the snow was falling so fast. In the cold and darkness, a poor little girl with bare hands and naked feet roamed through the streets. It's true she had on a pair of slippers when she left home, but she had lost them. In an old apron, she carried a number of matches and had a bundle of them in her hand. Sadly, no one had bought anything from her the entire day, nor given her a single penny. Shivering with the cold and hunger, she crept along. Poor child. Meanwhile, lights were shining from every window, and there was a savory smell of roast goose, for it was New Year's Eve. Yes, she remembered that. In a corner between two houses, the poor little girl sank down and huddled herself together. She'd drawn her little feet under her, but she could not keep off the cold. She couldn't go home. She remembered what her father had said to her that morning. "Listen here, young lady. Your little brother is crying. You know why? Because you just ate our last food supplies. Now don't you dare go back home before you sell all of those matches. You got that?"
Yes, Papa.
As I said before, no one had bought anything from her. And besides, it was almost as cold at home as here. Her little hands were almost frozen with the cold. Aha! Perhaps a burning match might be some good. She drew one out. Scratch! Oh, how it burned beautifully. It gave a warm, bright light, like a little candle. It seemed to the little girl that she was sitting by a large iron stove with polished ornaments. The little girl stretched out her feet as if to warm them. But then, poof! The light from her match went out. The stove vanished, and she had only the remains of the half-burnt match in her hand. Then she lighted another match. Scratch! It burst into a flame, and when its light fell upon the wall became transparent, and she could see into the room. You know what she saw? Well, she saw a steaming roast goose stuffed with apples and dried plums. It looked so delicious. The little girl stretched out her hand towards it, but then, poof! The light from her match went out, and there was nothing in front of her but the cold, thick wall. Then she lighted another match. Scratch! Suddenly, she found herself sitting under a huge, glorious Christmas tree. It was the most beautiful Christmas tree she had ever seen. Thousands of tapers were burning upon the green branches. The little girl stretched out her hand towards them. But then, poof! The her match went out again. The Christmas tree rose higher and higher till they looked to her like the stars in the sky. Then she saw a falling star.
Oh, no, 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 no. Someone is dying,
said the little girl. She remembered her old grandmother, the only one who had ever loved her and who was now dead. She said to her that if a star falls, a soul was going up to God. Then she lighted another match. Scratch! This time, the light from her match shone around her, and in the brightness, she saw her old grandmother smiling at her.
Wait, who's that lady over there? She looks like Grandma? Oh my gosh, that's Grandma! Grandma, hi, Grandma! Wait, how did you? Oh no, 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 no! It's the matches! Grandma, please don't leave me. I know you will go away as soon as the match burns out. You will vanish like the iron stove, the rose goose, and the beautiful Christmas tree. Please, Grandma, don't leave me.
The little girl lighted every matches that she had, for she wished to keep her grandmother there. The light from her match shone brighter than the noonday. Her grandmother took the poor girl in her arms. Then they both flew upwards towards brightness and joy, far above the earth. In the dawn of morning, there lay the little one, with pale cheeks and a smiling mouth, leaning against the wall. She had frozen to death. The light from the New Year's sun shone upon the little girl's corpse, but she still sat in the stiffness of death, holding the matches in her hand, one bundle of which was burned. She tried to warm herself, said some. No one imagined what beautiful things she had seen, nor into what glory she had entered with her grandmother on New Year's Day. And that's the end of this story. It's such a sad story, isn't it? I hope you can learn a valuable lesson from it. Like, for instance, this story teaches us to always look to the bright side of things, no matter how dark they seem. Well, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!